Okay, Khan Shalom Akim, as always, Khan Halalim La, Allah Shaja Yahawa, Bahasham Zakwan Adani Hawsham Mashayach, Bahasham Raha Kodash, and double honors to the great Muslim apostles as well. Khan Halalim La, meaning all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh being the ancient Hebrew name of the Most High, and of course Yahweh Shah being the ancient Hebrew name of the Messiah as well. And that's for you new brothers as well that are watching these videos. So, pretty much the video today, the topic today, will simply be 2/3 are far gone, as you can tell from the title. Because the reason why I thought of the name 2/3 are far gone, because recently you got Ishmael as well, with his with him finishing off Ramadan, which is like his season where he fasts and he worships his idol, and then at the end they have this feast where they then break their fast and they just eat and celebrate and whatnot. So the reason why is because Jake is into that nonsense, into all that idolatry as well. And I'll obviously bring a few scriptures too, because when you're also seeing all these apps as well, like Instagram or Snapchat as well. For example, it may be a Snapchat story. When you just start seeing all these Jakes, and Eve especially, because it was Eve that I was seeing, doing all of this, like just making posts about Ishmael's idols, really. Saying, I think the phrase was a happy Eid Mubarak or something like that, which is like the end of Ramadan, some kind of thing. And yeah, just seeing Jake and and Eve pretty much celebrate this nonsense, like it just causes frustration for him too, because it's like you can't really take them back because they're already too far gone into that nonsense, into that idolatry. And of course, as we know in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, that his people, the people of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Israelites, they lack knowledge, which is why they're going to be destroyed. Roughly phrasing up that scripture. That's in Hosea 4 verse 6. But it's all nonsense, man. Like, our people are just too far gone. 2/3 specifically, who I'm referring to. And Eve was the main one that was pretty much posting it. Of course, you had a few Jakes as well, but it was mainly Eve posting that nonsense, man. One day, of course, as we know through the scriptures, when Esau's kingdom falls, all this confusion that's pretty much weakening Jake right now is going to be done away with. When Akim are going to have that spiritual power, all these idols are going to be done for. They're going to get slayed. As the scriptures say in Jeremiah 16 verse 16, the fishes will then become hunters. And of course, Akim are going to be hunting in that day, man. There's going to be a lot of hunting. Yaharatazar will be worthy of the spiritual power there as always. Yaharatazar. Because right now we have it on a low level, being able to understand the scriptures, certain breakdowns, and also understand that Esau is our enemy. And also of course, that the kingdom of Yahweh Shai to come, obviously that type of knowledge isn't for everyone, because when they start hearing about chariots, they start to hear about the fact that Yahweh Shai was the real name, and of course Yahweh being the real name, and all these other truths of which we comprehend in this truth. The thing is, not everyone can actually receive it. As we know, 2/3 are bigger than a 1/3. So of course, only a few can understand, and a lot will not understand. Let me get Hosea. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. Let me get it. Yeah, this is Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Oh, yeah, I'll read it again, Salakia. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. So of course, the main point bringing out from that scripture is because of the fact that Israel lacks knowledge. The knowledge that what they're worshipping out there, which is what Ishmaelites call by the idol name, the false power, Allah, of course, that is what Jake hasn't realized, that that's a false power. That's the thing. They're into that idolatry, that Jews, that how can I even call it? It's like that. I don't even, how can I even call it that? But that type of demonic type of energy that's going against Yahweh Shimi Al Shai, that's the thing that's full that's affecting Jake in Islam right now. Because I know there's a lot of Jakes that pass by, of which I'll be trying to wake up them up to the truth in the hours and bowers. They pass by and they say I'm Muslim. They say they're Muslim. And of course, when you hear that, you know Jake's already deep into that nonsense. Of course, you try and wake them up saying that that's an idol and, bring it up, bring all that it can do. But, some Jakes are just far gone. And that's the title of this video. 2/3 are far gone. That's the thing. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And we know the fundamental to wisdom is knowledge and understanding. And of course, the knowledge and understanding that surpasses all types of knowledge and understanding of the world is pretty much the knowledge of the scriptures and the understanding brought by the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which comes in studying precepts and studying the scriptures, really. That's the ultimate knowledge and the ultimate understanding to have. Well, of course, Jake, Eve, of course, they don't want to receive it. Even if you try and teach them, they won't bother. They won't listen to you. They'll just think that you're crazy and, you're just trying to deceive them or something like that. As Yahushua said, if they called the master Beelzebub, I think that was in Matthew. I'm trying to remember the chapter. If they called the master Beelzebub, imagine the servants, roughly phrasing that scripture. Because the servants are also going to be demonized as well, because these people are too sunk in to that idolatry. Now let me get another one too, because these 2/3 are far gone, man. When I saw that, because when you just view, it may be someone that you may have not seen in a long time, like an old friend, or someone like a classmate or something, someone you went to school with. Then you see them partake. You know that they're Israelite, but the thing is, you also realize that they're also partaking into another piece of folly. And the reason why I say another piece of folly as well, because I remember some of these Israelite women, of which I used to go to school with as well. The thing is, previously, before they even, well, I'm not sure about now, but from the way they're celebrating and what they're wearing, I could tell they've probably converted to that folly, to Islam. That's the thing. And formerly they were Christians, which really don't really make a difference, because that's another form of idolatry as well. Serving an Edomite man, of which they call so-called Jesus Christ, when his actual name, the actual name of our Messiah, our deliverer, is Yahweh Shai. So pretty much what happened is they just went from one idol onto another, and that's folly. Imagine going from one idol to another. You just switch. Like there's no difference. There's no difference because they're both idols. You know what? Let's get that scripture as well. Psalm 96 verse 5. All the nations, all the gods of the nations are idols. That is the main and plain point. And of course, there are scriptures as well which support that. Because some of the even Ishmael as well, he of course, it's not as if he flipping keeps our laws anyways, because he has his own laws in his own Quran, which is, as I said, it's an idol. Because for me, I go to school as well, and of course I do have some Ishmaelite friends too, and they pretty much eat detestable meats, man, and that's folly for Jake to be following. Because for Jake being an Israelite, although he may not know it, the thing is him being in Islam, even after trying to wake him up, because of course we know 2/3 or more, even if trying to wake him up as well, he's still going to be deep into that folly. He won't care if he's eating detestable meats according to the scriptures, because his belief is in that idol. There's too much dedication, worthless and vain dedication to those idols. And that's the folly of Israel. That's the foolishness of Israel right now, unfortunately. But of course, as Yahweh Shem Yahshai, as we keep persevering as being servants of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, kingdom come, these 2/3 are going to be cleansed from that mindset. Even during Jacob's trouble, you never know who you may think to be 2/3 may come back as 1/3. But we don't know. It's all through Yahweh Shem Yahshai's will. We do not know. But of course, majority of them are most likely just to stay 2/3, man. They're too far gone. As the title says, 2/3 are far gone. They're too deep in this idolatry. That's literally it. They're too deep. And Yahweh Shim Yashai, seeing them serve these other idols, is going to piss them off. It's going to get them angry. You know? It's going to get Yahweh Shim Yashai angry, which we're not supposed to provoke Yahweh Shim Yashai to anger, as the scriptures say. So Psalm 96, Salakia, let me get this. Psalms 96. Just wait, Salakia. And also for you new brothers as well, Salakia means forgive me in the ancient Hebrew. So you might hear that from a lot of Akim at times if they make a mistake or something. Now, Psalms 96. Oh, okay. Wait. Almost there, Salakia. So that's 93, I think. 94. 96. Alright, come on, Salakia. Okay, cool. This is Psalm 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh Shem Yashai made the heavens. So of course we know, as it states here, it says, for all the gods of the nation, the so-called gods of the nations, of which these heathens think that they actually exist. The thing is, they're actually idols, man. I know that Yahweh Shem Yahshai is truly the true power above all. And he says Yahweh made the heavens. Because we know Yahweh is also Allah Shajah, meaning power almighty. He's the power over all powers. And that's going to be made known upon the whole earth. Everyone is going to know in that time. And especially in the time where Yahweh Shem Yahshai is also going to bestow that spiritual power as well. That's when the glorification and the knowing of Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to then be exponentially increased. Because, you know, as Akim are going to be doing miracles, Akim are going to be making spiritual power acts, you know, of all sorts of destruction and healing. We know to amaze the 1/3 as well, because it's really just to bring up the 1/3 as well. Because, you know, everyone else is going to get slayed anyways. So, the thing is, in the time to come, it's just going to be also mainly for the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's the way it's going to be. And of course, that's when Ishmael and all these other idols as well, they're going to, and all these other heathens, and also Jake serving those idols, are going to realize that they're idols with no power, worthless power, no power at all. Now, let me get to another scripture as well. I think 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14. But the people needed to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And that's the thing, yeah. Going back to Hosea 4 verse 6 as well. I think I might get that scripture. Hosea 4 verse 6. About people lacking knowledge. I think there's a scripture in Proverbs chapter 18 about Proverbs 18 verse 15. About the prudent findeth knowledge, and then the wise seeketh knowledge. But the point being is that the prudent being the good righteous people, the righteous servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the wise servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, of course, both being the same thing, would actually seek knowledge. And those Israelites that are actually trying to learn, them being bestowed with the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, with the zeal, you know, to learn, they also seek knowledge, because, you know, knowledge is the fundamental in order to have more wisdom. So that's what majority of our people lack, though, unfortunately. But in time, they'll learn in time. So 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. Okay, calm. 2 Chronicles. Oh yeah, wait, so okay. Yeah, that's okay, cool. Yes, Salakia, I'm just looking for that certain scripture. I think it's the first Second Chronicles. Okay. Second Chronicles 7 verse 14. Okay. Chapter 4, 6, okay, 7. Okay, 7 verse 14. 7 verse 14. Hey, okay, calm, I found it. This is Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. And of course, right now, Israel doesn't want to call upon the names Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Even if you told them directly, these are the names, you break it down to them, they don't want to listen. That's the thing. It's just that 2/3 mindset within them. That 2/3 mindset. It says, Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. I'll read it again. If my people which are called by my name, of course Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, shall humble themselves and pray, and of course humility as well. The thing is, when also some of these idols, some of these some of Jake or some of these Israelite women, Israelite Jakes as well. Well, some of Jakes and Israelite women, the thing is, they may pride themselves upon these idols as well. You know, being part of that community, feeling safe and all. You know, whatever type of fake brotherhood with Ishmael. That's nonsense, man. That ain't no brotherhoods. Because these lot, in the time to come, Ishmael's going to go against Jake. Just like the way Esau's going to go against Jake. Just because they may be friendly to you now doesn't mean they're going to stay friendly forever. Especially when Jacob's trouble is going to strike. They're going to become your enemy straight away. As they all have their history of enslaving Israel. Now, see, as 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14 says, if my people which are called by my name, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. And they don't know that serving idols are part of the wicked ways. Of course they don't know, because Esau, of course, being the rulership in this earth right now, is confusing Jake and weakening Jake. Not trying to he's pretty much just destroying Jake. That's literally it. And it's all by the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But of course, there will be 2/3 that are pretty much destined not to even wake up or even know the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's the thing. And that'll be their judgment. And it says, continuing on, it says, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land. And of course, we're not in our land right now. Before we're going to get into our own land, which is going to be very nourished in the kingdom of Yahushai, we're just going to have to keep enduring whatever afflictions we need to go through, keep persevering, and also keep praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to just strengthen us each day. That's literally until the moment of salvation. And Yahweh we be worthy. Yahweh Ratazah meaning will, like Yahweh's will, that we're worthy of getting the salvation of Yahushua, because you know it's Yahushua that's offering us that opportunity. Which is why when you know the names Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, it's not just enough to know the names and also know that you're an Israelite, but it's also to be a servant of Yahweh Yahushua. Of course, it's not just by works, but it's mainly by faith that we're going to get saved. But we still have to try our best in order to show ourselves worthy of that salvation. Okay, cool. And also another scripture as well pertaining to this idolatry, because I think Matthew 6 mentions about don't be hypocrites as those who pray and stand in synagogues. And the thing is, if you look at Israel right now, that's pretty much how they pray. Standing, kneeling, standing again, kneeling again in the synagogues. And they also pray out there in the corners when everyone can see them. Certain of them do that. And I think there's also a video on YouTube of Ishmaelites pretty much praying in Town Square or Times Square. I think that's in New York, probably. That's one video. And even in school as well, like sometimes you literally just see them, like obviously not in like high school, primary school, whatever you guys call it there in America. But I'm talking about university really. Even there, you're gonna start seeing Ishmaelites literally in a room, in a computer room. They're gonna get to the corner and then be praying, letting everyone see them. And of course, that pertains to idolatry, anyways. Because Yahweh Shem Yahshua commands us not to do that. And of course, Ishmaelites and their false idol goes against our doctrine as well, that Yahweh Shem Yahshua has set upon us through these scriptures. Anyways, let me actually get the scripture that I'm talking about. Matthew 6. Matthew 6, verse 5 to 6. I wrote down the scriptures as well. Matthew 6. Wait, 5. Okay. 5. Okay, Matthew 6, verse 5. It says here, "And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward." And of course, that's cold right there. That's actually cold. You know why it's cold? In a good way, because of the fact that Yahweh Shem Yahshua said through the scriptures there, that they also have their reward, meaning they're going to get their result in the time to come, of which Ishmael's idols are going to be slain, man. Imagine. In the time, and if Jake is also part of this nonsense as well, they're going to get slayed first before all these other heathens are then going to follow. Straight after Jake, man. All these 2/3 serving Ishmael's idol, and all these other religions as well. The thing is, they're going to get slayed first. Yahweh Shem Yahshua dealing with his household, his family first, before all these other heathens. As we know, there as the abundance of them as a drop of a bucket. As it says in Isaiah 40, verse 15, and also 2nd Ezra 6, verse 56. So calm. But yeah, man. Also, you could tell as well, man. Like most of these lot just got demons on them. Honestly, they got all sorts of demons. Even the previous camp video, which I did this week, Monday. I think it was Monday. I think the latest camp video, Camp 62, probably about heathens being our servants are not our friends. The thing is, there were several demons that were just disturbing me during camp. That's the thing. One of the demons. Of course, I know I'm going off track a lot here, but one of the demons was an Edomite. Of course, that's not pertaining to this topic, but an Edomite. Just before I started recording, he decided to come through and then start smoking. And I had to move the camera away for the first time. And then the second time which I had to move the camera was because of the fact that there was also a beggar there as well, but he had a demon on him as well. That's the thing. He just kept talking and talking and talking. But yeah, the point being is also then you had a few. This was the main one. Then you had a whole group of Ishmaelites. I think this was probably a family household, but there was like an older sister, middle sister, a brother, and a few other ones as well. A few other little sisters as well. The thing is, you probably heard them shouting in Camp 62. They just got demons. I think since Monday, Monday was the day of which they could pretty much break their fast and do their Eid, whatever. And the thing is, they went shopping, and of course, being in their how can I even call it? Their so-called happy states. The thing is, of course, demons are gonna come up upon them as I'm trying to preach. They're just trying to disturb me. And that's the thing though, they'd be asking questions, and then of course if I taught, I knew within me it would just waste my time even more, because it's not for them anyways. It's only for Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and of course the speckled bird Israelites that don't look physically as Israelites, in appearance of course. But the point being is, there's a lot of demons out here, man. And these demons are infectious as well. They go up on 2/3 and make them more like 2/3. Oh my days. But the point being is, Kim, the thing is 2/3 are far gone. Some of them just can't be, you can't just talk to them. Like if you talk to them, the thing is they probably are just simply a 2/3. That's literally it. Like you can't really save these guys. You just can't save them. Like they just have to go through the fire. That's honestly the point of this video as well. Anyways, let me get to Yeah, oh yeah, I was going to read another verse. This is Matthew 6, verse 6. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy father, which is in secret, and thy father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. So the point being is, as advice from, I think this was probably Yahweh Shai speaking here, but the point being is that the advice given here is to pray on your own when no one is actually seeing you. So that it's just between you and the Father, you and Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the way it should be. Not like these Ishmaelites and their idols, of which they pretty much let everyone see them when they pray. It's all nonsense, man. Gosh. Honestly, Yaratazar in the time to come, man, this confusion is going to be done away with. Literally, when Ark came out spiritual power, oh my days. It's just gonna speed up the process even more of putting down all this confusion, setting things straight. That Yahweh Shem Yahshai is our power and the only power to exist that dominates over all and over this earth and over all the heavens as well. Come on. Let me get one more scripture before I close out as well. Let's see. Yeah, Job 39, that's one. Job 39. Man, in the time to come, man, these flipping Ishmaelites are going to have to answer to something. They're going to get their reward, innit? As Yahushua said through in Matthew 6, they're going to get their rewards, which means they're going to get what they deserve in the time to come. And that's going to be part of a lot of slaying, man. Deceiving Jake. Mad days. Anyways, Matthew 39, let me get that. Okay. That's 20, 25, 30, 39. If 39, that was 40, that's 4, isn't it? Okay, 30, 39. 39 over 17. Wait. Oh, Salakia. I thought I was in Job. Wow. I was actually in Psalms. Salakia, brothers. I was in the wrong book the whole time. Okay, so Psalms 39. I mean, Salakia, Job 39. 30, yeah. That's 27. 35. So it says here in Job 39 verse 17, because Yahweh Shem Yahshai hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her with understanding. I'll read it again. It says, because Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. So of course, the reason why I brought out that scripture as well, because I said it was mostly Eve that was pretty much celebrating this nonsense as well. Pretty much promoting these idols. But anyways, okay, I'm going to close out there because the camera's about to cut off. Shalom. Wakah halalim